Confirmation, Mike. Wind at 320 degrees at 6, temperature 53, altimeter 3000.
People like you, organizations like RampCheck, I love you guys.
4, 5, 6. Gotta be down, ready now.
You are clear for takeoff runway 21 left. Winds are calm. Stand by for the retrans on uniform. It's showtime.
Yes, indeed. It's showtime. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the RampCheck Podcast. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
I'm little brother Ryan.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good. Good to see you guys.
Oh,
Thanks for covering again last week.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No problem. That was kind of an unexpected coverage, but hey, we got it.
It was my bad because it was Jessica's birthday and I was so focused on the day. I forgot to tell you guys, hey, I'm going to be a little busy in the evening.
You didn't forget to tell us you were going to be a little bit busy. You just forgot all about it.
No, come on. Wednesdays at 7
Right.
p.m. Mountain Time's our time, man. But anyway,
I know,
since
right?
last week I didn't get to do this, happy birthday, honey. It is your birthday month, and I love you. And you don't look a day over 25. So, there you go.
Oh, you celebrating all month? Just
Wow.
kidding.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, good to be back this last week. Good discussion.
Good to
You
have
guys
you
got to
back.
talk a lot about the 4th of July, Independence Day.
Yep,
and
that was
cool.
fun.
Did you like our little Independence Day intro?
Oh yeah. I got goosebumps when I watched it. So good job.
Right. It's just, it's just the nerd or the AVGEEK or whatever in us or whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
trying. I know. I tried to find another one that was maybe a little bit more patriotic traditionally, but it is what it is. And that one worked, obviously. So if you haven't checked it out, of course you can, if you're not watching the live stream, you can always go back to YouTube. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that, that little notification bell wherever the hell it is. And you'll always be notified when we've got a live stream. You can also, all of the episodes, of course, are available on Rumble to watch as well. Audio versions are available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. And you're going to see a few notifications coming in soon because I kind of, anyway, I can explain that later. But anyway, you can catch some pretty much. What's that?
I was just going to say we are live streaming on Instagram tonight too.
Oh, we are live streaming on Instagram,
and we'll reply to some comments through my personal Instagram because the way that this setup is, we can't comment directly from the account. That's kind of weird, hard to explain. But anyway, one day we'll be able to. So comments through Instagram, I'll read and reply back through my account.
And if you want to interact with us in real time and see your comments on screen, of course, you can jump on over to YouTube or Facebook. I'm not sure we have messaging yet with Twitter, but Twitter, whatever. But really excited for the podcast tonight. We've got a very special guest that's going to be joining us here in the evening. In the meantime, though, if you guys, we've got something kind of special coming up early August. I'm not at liberty to tell you what it is yet, but we're working on something pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited. And then also, before we move on, anybody want to buy a 4K camcorder? Anyone? Hello? Bueller?
Turn this into eBay.
I'm up there. Yeah. Oh, so there's a little feathering around the corners in the box. It's not new. It's
all right. Next. Yeah.
I'm upgrading my camera. So yeah. If anybody wants to buy one, do that. But as we get a little bit closer, though, to the first week of August, we'll keep you informed, and I think you're going to be pretty excited.
Okay, and then sometime when we're not live, you'll have to tell me what the hell you're talking about, okay?
We will. You actually already know.
Okay.
We're
I
we're
didn't
not
know.
gonna talk about it live.
Oh, okay.
You-
All right.
you
Sounds
know.
good. Hey, well,
Yeah.
why don't
what it is.
why don't we bring on our guest since he's
Heck
so
yeah.
patiently waiting and we're just
Well, we just had to kind of do the intros.
yeah, we
so-
had to show a camcorder for sale. You're right. That's a great intro.
Yeah, of course. You got to get the business part out of the way before the fun. So,
All right.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, before we well, let's just do it. Hey, here's ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Captain Jourdan Lee.
How's it going, guys?
It's going
What's
great.
up?
Welcome
Thanks
to
for
the
joining.
podcast, man. It's great to have you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, big fan. Listened to you guys for a while. So I was saying that earlier. I think you guys do a good job in what you guys do. So thanks for inviting me. It's kind of cool. I mean, Combat Learjet was on this podcast. So.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. You're
Yeah.
good company.
That's awesome.
We're trying to get him on with video, but he's a little shy showing his face. So we'll have to figure out some way, whether, have him wear like, I don't know, do one of those Apple emojis, that's animated.
Yeah, there you go.
When he's talking
Yeah.
like an alligator or something. That'd be funny as hell.
That would
but-
freak me out.
Yeah. Hey, and I gotta say, disregard the drapes. I mean, we brought this up earlier. I'm in a hotel room. This is not my wife's decorating. I promise.
Whatever, you're
I did
home.
bring that up in the
Yeah.
in the pregame. I was like, "Hey, man, like, I hope you're in a hotel room because otherwise, I got to say something about those drapes."
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Jourdan,
again,
does the-
Again,
Oh,
thank
go
you
ahead,
for
Ryan.
taking time out of your schedule. I know you're kind of on the road and you're in your hotel, but we appreciate you taking the time for us.
Happy to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
we're interrupting your crew rest.
Yeah.
No. I got plenty of time to sleep. Yeah, luckily.
Awesome.
So
That's
before
good.
before we move on, just curious, does the carpet match the drapes?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
no.
your hotel room, just so you know.
That's a hotel room question. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want any other information.
So I just tell everybody. So if you want to follow Jourdan, he's on screen there. You can see at 135_pilot. He is a KC-135 pilot with the Utah Air National Guard, which is awesome. And he's also a 737 pilot with a major airline here in the United States. If you follow him on social media, you'll probably find out who and what. And he's always posting great stuff. So go give him a follow. He's got great content. Good dude. So we're honored to have him on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But yeah, absolutely. Ryan, Tony, any questions out of the gate? Because there's a lot to cover, obviously.
Yeah, just a couple of quick chats before we move on. Wadman is saying, starting on time? Who are you people and what have you done with the wrong follows? We have only been not on time or late, I guess.
Yeah, that would be late.
We've only been late like twice. Okay. So
Hey, Wadman's always on time, so that's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks,
we
Wadman.
appreciate
Good to
it.
hear from you. Jacob Wayne was saying WhatsApp or what's up?
What's that?
It's War.
Oh, wire.
It's not Wayne.
Wiry. Jacob.
Yeah,
Warren.
I think
Jacob
you
Wayne.
just pronounce it Jacob War. I think.
How about we just
Sorry,
call you
man.
Jacob? Jacob says, Jourdan is the man. Incredible shots from the boom, especially the last bone connect shots. Ooh, might we get to see those? Keep crushing it and come to Eglin anytime. Well, you're pretty close to Eglin right now. Jourdan.
I'm actually pretty close to Eglin right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Just minus the tanker on this trip.
Yeah, unfortunately, no tanker. Yeah.
Where I? Okay. Well, why don't you just
Oh,
say that in the first place, Jacob?
I didn't even know that. Sorry. You can butcher follow for us next time we see you, Jacob.
Yes, you can. So Jourdan, like we kind of ask all of our guests that we have, especially for the first time, is just kind of to start from the beginning. Not like Hess and talking about his parents meeting at prom or whatever. Just like from your beginning, like when you first got interested in aviation, if there's a specific moment that you can remember, just kind of give us a quick rundown.
Absolutely. First of all, I've got a 4K camera I'm trying to sell. If I could just show that. No, I'm just playing.
Hell yeah, you
There's
can.
none of that. None of that.
You want to trade?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
So, I was pretty fortunate. I grew up, my dad, he flies for Southwest Airlines. And so I grew up with him flying in the airlines. And so if I could take it way back, when my mom was pregnant with me, my dad thought it would be a great idea to take her flying. And of course, pregnant lady, she got super sick, right? Puked, made a mess. And I'll tell you what, it was from that day on, man, I knew I wanted to fly airplanes. So I could say I wanted to fly airplanes from before I was born. But no, I grew up around it. And I just, ever since I was a little kid, just had a fascination with airplanes. I was always talking my dad into taking me to the airport just to watch airplanes. It was just anything I could do to be around airplanes. I remember my dad flew for SkyWest back in the day, and I remember going in the Brasilia on trips with them. And it was back before 9/11, obviously, and you go in the cockpit. And it was so cool. I was sitting on his lap and cruising to wherever. So
the classic Brasilia, did that even have a crew door?
Nope.
Yeah.
Probably a curtain is all. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that the seeds were planted pretty young for me with my love and passion for aviation. And I just kind of took off with it. When my dad was hired at Southwest years ago, there were times where my mom would no kidding drop me off at the airport in the morning, and I would just go cruise around non-rev benefits just to be on airplanes. I'd go fly around by myself as a 15-year-old kid.
Love it.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I was pretty lucky to have that privilege to be able to non-rev everywhere. So I definitely took advantage of that. In fact, when I was dating my wife, my dad had some extra buddy passes, so I took her to Seattle for the day and to
show off
San Diego for the day. Yeah, I know, right?
Well, it must have worked because she's now your wife.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But it more so had to do with just being on airplanes, being around airplanes. So, I had that guidance from my dad. And there were some little things here and there when I was 15 or so. And I think I sent this picture to you, Aaron. There was a guy down the street who flew tankers in the Guard. And he actually got us as a scout group an incentive flight. So I got to go ride on the tanker when I was 15. And it was super cool. Yeah, we refueled F-22s.
That's awesome.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was super, super cool. I'll remember that day, forever.
Wow,
and
you guys refueled
the
F-22s and you were 15? Dang.
I was just gonna say, wow.
You must be 21 or something.
You still have your spots.
Yeah, right. And truthfully, I never saw myself being in the military. I mean, I kind of wanted to follow my dad's path and do the airlines. And so that kind of planted that military seed. I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty freaking cool!" Just super impressive. And on those incentive rides, you get to go up to the cockpit and hang out with the pilots. You get to go back to the boom and watch the air refueling. So super awesome opportunity. When I graduated high school, I got my private real quick. And then pretty soon after that, I had a neighbor, that same neighbor down the street. He was kind of like, hey, if you enlist in the Guard, it kind of gets your name in the Guard. And if you do a good job and make a good name for you, the Guard will pay for all your school. And you'll have a chance to get a pilot slot. And so I was sure, learning to fly was pretty expensive.
That's awesome.
So
yeah.
getting a flight train from the Air Force for free sounded pretty appealing, and they pretty cool. You get to fly some pretty cool airplanes in UPT. So I took up the offer. I enlisted, and I worked on the KC-135s in Utah. I was in the engine shop. So really just did all the basic maintenance on the KC-135 engines. Kept them going. If there was anything major, we would pull the engine off the jet and then send it to Tinker Air Force Base to get overhauled and pulled apart and whatnot. So, and then got school done. Did some stuff with the Guard during that time, and then as soon as it was 2 or 3 months before I graduated, I got offered the chance to interview, and believe it or not, they hired me. So. Pretty quickly after that, got sent to do my physical, passed that, went to OTS, commissioned to be an officer. and then the UPT, which was an incredible experience. So I went to Laughlin Air Force Base out in Del Rio, Texas for my
Cool.
pilot training.
Nice.
Flew the T6, and then being a guard guy, it's a little different going to UPT as a guard guy because you know what you're going to fly. So typically those active duty guys that are going through UPT have no idea what airplane they're going to fly.
Right.
So everything's a competition, right? I mean, everything you do in UPT is graded, and those guys are all fighting for that top spot because traditionally a lot of guys want to go fly the fighters, right?
Yeah.
And but for me, it was just I just had a path. I had to get through. And so there wasn't a ton of stress on me. I knew I was going to go fly the T1 and then go fly the tanker. So,
And
yeah.
speaking of
flew
that,
T1
we've got a photo
there you
here
go.
in front of a T1.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that,
that
is that some hair on your head? I see.
Yeah, believe it or not. I know,
Okay.
man. It's crazy. That airplane was so much fun to fly. I mean, the T6 was a pretty go environment, kind of fighter-ish environment where it was just, it was pretty much you're learning to fly single seat. And then you go to the T1 and it was, hey, this is a crew aircraft. We work together. And it was a lot of fun. We just flew approaches around Texas and did some formation stuff and a couple low-level flights. So that was a lot of fun to fly the T1. Train.
Was that photo the T1?
Yeah.
So is that
that's
like
a T1.
a beach jet or a diamond jet or what is that?
It's a beach jet. Yep.
Okay,
That's exactly
all
what it is. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we hated refueling beach jets.
Well, these had
you know-
single point, so it was okay.
Oh, these did. Okay, well that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah,
ones
none
didn't
of
have
this,
single point.
none of this 20 in the trunk or whatever. So
Yeah. No, it was a fun jet to fly. We got to do some cool stuff with it. So, there was one flight we flew just down the coast of through the Gulf, through Louisiana over to Florida. Use a VFR, at 1,000 feet. Just got to
that's
do some
cool.
pretty neat stuff that you just don't do a lot. Yeah, and
Nice.
regular flight training and whatnot. So,
we don't actually get a lot of people talk about the T1. Is it
Sure.
How is it like on power and performance? Obviously, it's you're either training to go in like a tanker or a transport or along those lines. So it's not all about performance and maneuverability, but flying that jet.
Yeah.
What is it like? I don't think I've ever asked anybody. T1.
It was the first jet that I ever flew. So as far as I was concerned, it was awesome, right? It had tons of power. I can't remember now, like looking back, if it was like this rocket ship. It wasn't necessarily a rocket ship. The tanker, when it lights, a rocket ship, which is awesome.
That's cool.
But it was just fun. I was having a blast. I had a really good time in UPT. I really enjoyed UPT. And that part was way fun because it was a little more laid back than the T6 portion of training. You had your buddy you would go and fly with. Typically, you would go fly with two students, would fly with one instructor. So the instructor would obviously stay in the seat the whole flight, and then we would swap seats. So I kind of had my friend that I went through with that I'm still friends with to this day. Super good guy. He's actually a T1 instructor right now at Laughlin. Yeah, he went to the C-17, and then those active duty guys kind of swap around every couple of years. So now he's flying the T1 back at Laughlin.
Okay.
But it was fun. We would do a lot of cross country stuff or out and backs where we would go fly somewhere, grab lunch, do some approaches, and then come back. So it was neat.
Nice.
That's cool. Years ago, this is like early 2000s. I worked down at Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. Down in Mesa, Arizona, and we'd get a lot of those Laughlin T1s come through the weekend, stay the night, stay the weekend. This is before your time, so I doubt I was fueling your aircraft, but this is early 20s. This is 20 years ago.
Well, you may have actually fueled
long
one of his
ago.
aircraft ended up flying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
I probably did.
And it was kind of a weird time for me when I was in UPT because right before I started UPT, Laughlin had a huge hailstorm and it literally destroyed more than half the fleet of T1s. And so when we showed up, they had to change the syllabus. And so typically guys would get like several cross country opportunities to go fly around and experience different airports. Where our class, we only got like one. just because they were having to adjust the syllabus for the lack of airplanes. So we were borrowing airplanes from Vance Air Force Base in Columbus because we just
wow.
didn't have
Yeah,
any, so.
they're not building more
Yeah.
T1s. That's
So,
Yeah.
I have a question. Well, before I ask the question, if anyone listening wants to throw a question Jordan's way, just please send us a comment question, and we'll get to it. From the time that you go down to UPT until you're done, what's the complete time frame? And then also follow-up question, how long are you like in the T6 before you switch to the T1, and how long does that take to complete?
Yeah, absolutely. So UPT, I think typically, I mean, it's changing and it's different now from when I went through, because they're starting to do a lot more VR stuff. But when I went through, it was a 13-month program. So you show up month 1, and pretty much the first month's like all ground school. It's all book work, testing. You know, I mean, they throw you right. I mean, it's no kidding, drinking from a fire hose. It's like you're learning about instruments while you're learning about VFR flying, while you're learning about, you know, different things here and there, while you're learning the airplane too. You got to learn the systems, learn how to fly, you know, how the airplane flies and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was a 13-month program. First month was all ground school, and then you get right into the T6, and it's I mean, you're flying nearly every single day for 5 months. So the T6 lasts about 5 months, and then and I can't remember how many flights it was. But you start off in a, I think they call it pre-contact phase. So it's just basic maneuvering the airplane. They teach you some basic aerobatics, just, you know, flying different maneuvers in the MOA, touch and goes, lots of touch and goes.
Yeah.
And then you do your solo, which is a lot of fun to fly the airplane by yourself for the first time. And then you get into a contact phase that was more intense, aerobatics and just more advanced stuff out in the MOA.
Okay.
And then it goes to an instrument phase where it's just all instrument flying. So you go from pulling G's and going crazy to and they would put you in the back seat for that, just to fly instrument approaches around the different airports and to do instrument maneuvers up in the area. And then after that, you go right back into the I guess more heavy G flying formation. So then we went into formation flying. And that, cool. Truthfully, man, my favorite ride of pilot training was my formation solo. So they, no kidding, put you in a T6 all by yourself and you go fly formation. And that was so much fun.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, formation, when we first started it, I mean, you're feet away from the other airplane. And I remember my first ride, like, holy cow. I mean, it was hard. It wasn't this easy thing, at least for me. And I was like, man, this is it. This is how I watched out of UPT, because it was tough. But you know, you give it a couple rides and practice at it, and you end up getting it. And I think it was after my 5th or 6th ride, they're like, all right, you're ready for your solo, go do your solo. So, and that was awesome. Super cool, you know, to take an airplane by yourself out there and fly formation and, and then do the overhead, you know, and fingertip and do the brake and everything. So super fun. Yeah, that was a good time.
When you're flying formation like that, how do they teach you to keep the aircraft, not my hands, so close to each other? Is it, are you pretty much just watching the person to the left of you? And so
whoever the flight lead is or something.
Yeah.
So I only flew 2 ships, right? Like I know the fighter guys, F-35s, I see them at Hill all the time flying 4 ships and stuff. I only did with 2, so I can't speak for more than that. But I do remember they would teach you to like keep the exhaust on the T6 of the lead aircraft at a certain point, and you would just keep that exhaust at a certain point. And so you weren't necessarily like watching the wingtip or watching, you know, the other guy in the cockpit. You were no kidding. They had like a reference, and I think that's how a lot of airplanes do formation when you do it close like that. Is you kind of have a reference on that airplane, and you just try to keep that reference right there, which made it a lot easier. Because when you're just trying to stare at another airplane and fly formation, at least for me, it was a little more difficult. When you find that reference, you just kind of lock that in and just keep it right there. So.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. I have a comment here. Somebody commented on the Instagram live. It's from maybe you know this person, Jordan. Ty_Willie1. Jay Lee, baby.
Oh yeah, man. One of our boom operators. He's awesome.
Oh,
he's
nice.
a dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. One of our booms. Yeah. Super good guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in. And
and then I have another comment that I can read. This is from Instagram as well. It's Fly Aussie 737. I don't know if you know who that is. What UPT class was Jourdan in?
I was in class 1806. So graduated in
1806.
2018. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay. Nice. Jourdan, this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit. Obviously, we're talking about your past, but
Yeah, you're good.
First of all, how long have you been in the Guard? Like, how many years now?
So from the time I enlisted to now, it's been 12 and a half years.
Okay.
12
Wow.
and a half years.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had my 12 years
So
in February. So
You went in when you were 12?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
He was gifted. He was like the Doogie Howser of aviation.
Yeah, it's like, hey, put this 12-year-old in an airplane. No, that's a good idea.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Were you involved in all? So my follow-up question was: were you involved in at all in the 100-year anniversary flyover thing?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, I was
All right.
around the squadron, and I saw the planning going on, and that was our squadron. I knew the guys that flew it really well, super good guys. But no, I would have jumped on that in a heartbeat. But basically,
Sure.
what we do is we kind of say, hey, we're available to fly these days, and it just happened to be some days that I didn't have availability on the fly. So, yeah, I would have loved to though. That was super cool. Yeah, I was actually out on an airline trip, and my wife and kids saw him fly over. So,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
that was
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
curious
that's
if maybe when we were out there, watching it or taking photos, if maybe that might have been you up
Yeah.
there. So, no, that's cool though.
No, not that time. Yeah.
So this brings a question for me is, so how much time do you spend actually flying for the Guard when you're not doing your quote unquote day job? Or would you consider the Guard
Yes.
your day job and you're flying commercially a side gig?
Yeah, so in the Guard, typically how it works is you've got traditionals, is what we refer to them. So I'm considered a traditional, where I'm like a part-time guardsman. And then you have your full-timers, they're technicians, or sometimes they're on orders, referred to as, on AGR orders.
Yeah, AGR.
Those guys kind of keep the squadron running during the week, all the really important stuff that needs to be done. And then guys like me just show up maybe once a week to fly. So earlier this year, the Guard sent me to instructor pilot school out at Altus Air Force Base. And so being a new instructor, I've been trying to fly a little bit more. And really for that's maybe 3 or 4 times a month. So it's not a ton of flying, but I try to stay a little more active and a little more current in the tanker than some people. But yeah, I mean, there's we've just got a squadron full of people, and then every once in a while the jets are breaking and whatnot. So that's about what I get, is about 3 or 4 flights a month.
So when you do these flights, Jourdan, do you is it mostly just like current training, or do you actually fly some missions when you do that?
Yeah, so those flights just during the month, they're just training missions. So typically a training sortie will consist of we'll go up and spend an hour doing our refueling with someone. So we never have a shortage of receivers. So it could be F-35s out of Hill. Yeah, that's actually over Iraq right there. Those are some Belgium F-16s that we worked with over Iraq. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you don't mind if I
typically,
just show some of these pictures while you're talking to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can kind of share where they're from. But our receivers come from all over. McCord C-17s, A-10s out of Boise, F-15s out of Mountain Home, a little bit of everywhere. And they sometimes, especially the heavies, the C-17s. Oh yeah, there's the F-15s out of Mountain Home. That was actually, no, I think that was back just over Idaho. But we ended up refueling those guys over Iraq, and ended up saying, putting 2 and 2 together. Oh, we're a Utah crew, because we work with those guys quite a bit. So that's kind of neat.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, and typically the fighters, they're busy doing training, doing air-to-air stuff, air-to-ground, whatever they do, and so they won't spend a lot of time on the boom. They just want to get their gas and go. Where we'll do like a C-17, and they want the practice doing air refueling, so they'll I like this picture. That was over Iraq, so that was pretty cool. Those Mountain Home guys, yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, I mean, times like this, all of us pilots, we like pictures of us flying. So, we'll get done with AR and I'll run back to the boom. And those guys love the pictures. So I'll snap some pictures and send them to them. So
speaking of F-15s, Aaron, we should show that.
That video. Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, let's do that, Jordan. This video.
Right.
Is
While
awesome.
he's pulling that video up, Sam Rothstein checking in says, "Thanks for your service, Jordan."
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, Sam, thanks for checking in. Don't forget, the RampCheck podcast is live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, and on Twitter. And if you go and check us out on YouTube, of course, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yes, and we thank you for everybody who's watching, of course. And here's a special treat. Now, I would imagine we're going to get into a lot of these pictures. So audio listeners, you got to go over and see this in video format. Jordan has some amazing pictures and videos that he sent us. And I can't wait to check these out.
Before I play this video, Ty_Willie1 says Slarko with an exclamation point, whatever the hell that means.
So Slarko is the Salt Lake Air Refueling Company. It's our boom operators. It's kind of it's their own little. They actually, I think they got the slogan trademarked and everything. So
cool.
They've got Slarko
really cool.
patches and so Salt Lake Air Refueling Company. Yeah.
On Instagram, there's an account that's called like Rudder Vaders or something like that, or something that has to do with the boom operators. Is that them or somebody or a bunch of
that's run by that's I think a couple of our booms will just contribute to that and throw some pictures up there. Yeah. Yep.
So I got to ask this question since I was part of the 151st and the 191st. And Slarko. Is there still a beer vending machine in the Slarko ready room?
So there's not. Well, there is. They've actually just. It kind of went away, but it's back. And it's got 4 taps. So it's back.
And then came back.
I mean, so awesome. They've recently kind of redone the boom room, and they made a huge, big old heritage room, and they've done a pretty good job with it, and brought some neat stuff like that back. So I didn't notice it before. If it was there, but it's definitely back now. So
that's awesome. So funny. That thing's been there forever. If it's the same machine, I mean, it looks like one of those old Fanta vending machines from like 1982. Maybe they've updated it since it came back. That was the first beer vending machine I saw, and then we deployed. So I was also a part of the 106 and 109th, and we deployed over to Germany for our summer camp. We were there for like 3 weeks, which was pretty cool. C5 on the way to anyway, that's a whole other story. But we went through Amsterdam and toured the countryside, and that's where I saw my second beer vending machine, and they're everywhere. It was just crazy. I just never seen anything like that before. But that's awesome. Cool that Slarko still has one. That's pretty awesome.
That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna do a video here, and Jordan, you can narrate this or tell us where this was at, whatever you want to comment on it. But if I could just ask you, wait 1 second until it goes by, because I want the listeners to hear. You can actually hear the burners on this and the sound. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this now. Dude, that is sick. That gives me chills. That's awesome.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a cool video. It's so badass.
Damn, that's cool.
So I wish I could take credit for that. That was actually another guy I was flying with. It was actually during our last deployment during the Afghan drawdown. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's so cool. I had to share it because I was like, man, this is just, those are the views that we see in the tanker. He just happened to get on video,
Amazing.
But yeah, it was during the just during the Afghanistan drawdown, and during that, we're stationed at a Al-Udeid Air Base there in Qatar, and we would fly missions up to Iraq and over to Afghanistan, and obviously during that time it's mostly Afghanistan, and I think that flight they were up in Iraq, and there was just not much going on, and so it's like, hey guys, we'll give you, here's a top off, and then do your thing and kind of thing. I mean, we're like kids up there, we're plane nerds just like you guys. Hey, do your afterburner, guys.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was so cool.
Yeah, let
super
me get.
cool, yeah.
I'll queue another video up, and you can just explain what's going on here. I think most of the watchers will understand this one, but here goes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's sick. I'll turn the video down a little bit, but. That's pretty cool and unique. The Air Force, refueling, joining up with the Blue Angels. Lot of people don't know that those tankers, you can actually put a adapter on there to get those Navy jets.
Put on the basket. The Iron Maiden, is that what it's
called? The Iron Maiden, yeah. Yeah, the Navy guys hate it. The Navy guys hate the Iron Maiden. Yeah. Yeah, we get some cool opportunities like that every once in a while. Those guys, it was a couple summers ago. They had just finished doing their practice out in California. I'm spacing on the name where they practice at, and we were dragging them back to Pensacola. So we got them about to Texas, a little past Texas, I think over the Louisiana area, and they got the gas they needed, and they were ready. They had enough gas to get to Pensacola, and so we were about to go back, and we were a formation during that. So I was in the number 2 aircraft, and of course I'm just snapping pictures because I think it's the coolest thing, right? We're filling the numbers, and this was the first year that they were using the Super Hornet. So you can see this one, number 5. He's got he's a Super Hornet, and that number 7's the older one. So
that's cool. Yeah, that was Legacy Hornet. Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of cool to see. Both of them right there. And so of course on the lead tanker we had public affairs, and so they were like, hey, can you guys come back here and get some pictures, in formation. So that's when they kind of formed up back there, and that's actually kind of a funny story because I mean, this just shows you we love airplanes, we're all plane nerds just like everyone else. They were flying just like that behind the tanker, and I hear the boom operator key up, and he's like, guys, I gotta ask you, can you just turn your smoke on, please? and they did. It was super cool.
They did in that video. Yeah.
It was super cool. Yeah, you just hear the number 1 just he was like, smoke on, and there comes the smoke. I mean, it was pretty cool to see. So
that's awesome.
That's great.
We need to before you share the next one, we need to share this comment. Fast checking in.
Hey,
what F-35 squadron at Hill has the best pilots when it comes to getting gas? I think he's trying to bait you into an answer here.
This is definitely a loaded question.
No, honestly, when we refuel those guys, we don't really know what squadron they're coming from. It's just like, hey, you're going to meet with 8 F-35s up in this area and just be here at this point at this time. So we're usually up there. They come and get their gas, and they're gone real quick. And all those guys are solid. I mean, those fighter guys are usually super good about getting on the boom. Yeah.
Speaking of fast, that photo right there, that's fast right there, and it got a signature
that's
on
awesome.
it and everything. So that's
cool.
him pulling some G's over Hill Air Force
nice.
Base. That's cool.
That says don't pick the wrong one.
Yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't even tell you what the squadrons are up there. I'm like, oh, they're F-35s. They take the gas, and that's about it. So
yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. It was a good try, Fast. It was a good try.
Yeah, it was a good try. Thanks for watching, man. It's good to hear from you. It's been a minute. So
that's awesome.
So Jacob says Baxter and Julius in that number 5 and number 7 jet. Crazy how time flies. So
nice.
Jacob's in Florida, and man, he gets some of the most cool shots of the Blue Angels flying over that bridge when they come back from shows, and that's sick. That's great.
It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna piss Jacob off for just a second.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so that was we we were actually right before that. We had just refueled a KC-10, and this guy, he was coming out of Nellis to go up to an air show, I think in South or North Dakota. I can't remember which base. It was one of the Dakotas. And so it was just him. It's usually they'll send a Thunderbird up a couple days before the air show to kind of get things set. And so it was just him, which was kind of cool. So of course, just like us, we gave him his gaff, and I ran to the back of the airplane and snapped a couple pictures. And of course, like kids, we had to ask them to turn their smoke on. So he turned their smoke on, and that was kind of cool. So
that's awesome.
That's
so
cool.
those, I'm guessing, are wing tanks on there.
No.
What are those?
Yeah, I don't know if they're.
Those are cargo pods. That's what they put their bags and travel with.
Yeah,
Cargo pods.
I've never seen
And
that either. I
don't
was
know.
going to ask.
Technically, I don't know if they're called cargo pods. I mean, I'm sure an F-16 pilot's. Fast was an F-16 pilot. He's probably like, what an idiot. It's not called a cargo pod, but anyway, that's travel pods, I guess. I don't know. That's what they put their bags.
So do you think
in.
if the shit ever hit the fan and he had to drop them, do you think he'd piss off the rest of the squadron because all their gears and stuff?
Well, it's probably the two.
It's probably
in the jets
his.
problem.
Yeah,
it's their stuff. Travel pods.
Travel
Oh, there you go.
Right
Travel pods. There
before
you
I
go.
read that. So,
And we got Viper Images letting us know as well. So
Yeah,
good job,
yeah.
brother. Good job.
so everybody
Yeah.
knows. Everybody heard me say it before everybody corrected me. So I corrected myself.
Nice.
Thank goodness,
Yeah.
because AVGEEKs will give everyone so much shit. So anyway,
Yes,
speaking of F-35 hooked up.
Yeah, that's
here we
cool.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's just that. Sometimes we'll have a couple extra pilots, or guys will jump on to get currency, and so whenever that happens, I'm like, hey, you guys fly. I want to go back and take pictures. So. Because whenever we're doing
that's
everything, we have to have two pilots in the seat. So yeah, I get some cool opportunities to go back there and snap some pictures. So
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Okay,
those-
so let's do the next video, which is pretty unique. Actually, you don't see videos of this often. Let's see. Here's Jay. Usually not guarded, so you can't be jettisoned. Okay. So they can't
Dang
be
it.
jettisoned
There you
typically. All right. They were probably jettisonable at one point, and then somebody lost their
probably
luggage,
accidentally-
so they're like,
yeah.
Someone lost their stuff.
Somebody
Yeah,
lost
that's
their
funny.
luggage over Kansas or something. Anyway,
or over. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That's cool. Wow.
yeah, that turned out to be a super cool video. We it was just we were a formation. I was in the number 2 tanker. And those guys, I mean, the background, we were over the Grand Canyon. I was like, this is so cool. And that was just my
Amazing,
iPhone.
yeah.
I didn't have my camera that day. So I was like, holy cow, we kind of snuck in a little
That's
closer than we
cool.
normally do. And yeah, that's
Wait,
Play it
yeah.
one more
a
time.
pretty cool video.
yeah,
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
even see the Grand Canyon. I'm just looking at the airplanes.
Yeah.
That's a cool video.
Yeah, that
So
turned out pretty cool. Yeah.
So when you're refueling something like a C-130, are you guys pretty much at flight idle? I mean,
We're definitely on the backside of the power curve. It seems like so. That's the tanker. It's awesome like that, where we can go to refueling an F-35 and flying, over 300 knots to refuel them, to right down to do a C-130 or an A-10. Go down
Oh,
to,
yeah,
to
A-10,
a
that's
lower
right.
altitude and slow way down. If we have to, we can drop flaps. And in that situation, we were light enough, we didn't have to drop flaps. So. I mean, that's where the tanker's awesome, right? You can go from one airplane to the other just like that, and it's no big deal. So
That's cool.
yeah,
So
I think we have
next,
an A-10 video too, don't
yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, next. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So back in
Oh, yeah,
1999, I went up and photographed A-10s. I went on a flight too. And
yeah, okay, so
I didn't get video like this, but damn, that's awesome.
yeah, so okay, so this was over Afghanistan.
There's.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that was actually over Afghanistan. And I think he was like the squadron commander or something for those A-10 guys. And that, if you're watching, it's obviously way closer than a normal airplane is, and the boom's up. I think it was like his daughter's birthday, and he had something in the window that one of her stuffed animals or something, and wanted to fly
that's
real
cool.
close and get some pictures.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so It's kind of hard to see. You can't really see it. It's tough to see in the video, but he just wanted to fly real close. And then all those A-10 guys, I mean, any fighter guy likes to show off, right? So he, of course, rolled over and popped some flares, which was pretty cool. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
On that left side in the front, something sitting in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he had something in there. Yeah, so he pulled up real tight. We got some video and pictures of him, and then he puts on a little show, which is always cool. So
that's awesome.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was dope.
So cool. Jacob, love me some T-Birds too. Haha, grew up watching them at the Academy every year. Hashtag AF Brat. But the blue and gold do it best. Just a local's opinion. Having them both here in Pensacola was a treat during COVID. Oh, heck yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky here in Utah to have the F-35 demo team out of Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, they practice like 3 times a day. So, I mean, yeah, during COVID, you know, we'd go up and watch Bayo practice, you know, gosh, multiple times during the month. So we were lucky for that. So anywhere there was a demo team or something stationed, you usually got a pretty good show several times a month during all that fiasco.
Super awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's get another video up here.
Yep.
Let's see.
I want to start looking at some pictures too.
Oh yeah. We'll do a couple more videos.
Yeah.
And then speaking of F-35, here we go.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
Oh
yeah. Those are the guys from Hill. So once again, I don't know the squadron, but yeah, those guys are awesome. They're always super great to work with, and yeah, that's cool stuff.
That's so cool. So cool. Yeah, I want to see some more videos and pictures. Before we do that, if you're watching the RampCheck podcast for the first time, welcome. Thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody. Hit that notification bell as well. We are live every Wednesday night right here on YouTube. I was going to say Spotify. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And then, of course, if you can't catch us live, you can catch us on all those platforms. Audio versions are, of course, available on all your favorite audio podcast places as well. And once again, everybody, we've got Utah Air National Guard Captain Jourdan Lee joining us. And wow, if you didn't join us for the first part of the podcast, just watch. Don't go yet. Watch the rest.
Wait till it's over.
And then go back and watch it from the beginning. But go ahead, brother. Let's see some more video.
So here's a little bit of a different perspective. That is awesome, and I love that tail.
Wow.
I've got some cool shots of that jet.
Yeah. So once this is another video. I think I sent you 2 videos that aren't mine. I wish I could take claim to this one too. But last year we got invited to go down to Holman Air Force Base to do some air fueling with these guys because they don't get tankers a lot, I don't think, and they need it. It's the schoolhouse for the F-16. And so we went down there for 4 days and did some air fueling for them. And in return, they gave us backseat rides. So we all got a backseat ride, which was incredible.
Nice.
Super awesome. I mean, man, that was a ride, flying the backseat. Yeah, so yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me in the backseat right there. Yep. And then in return for those guys, we also let their spouses ride on our tankers, so all their wives and stuff got to see them doing AR. So it was a pretty cool deal. I think we walked away thinking we got the better deal, and they walked away thinking they got the better deal. So really cool opportunity. Yeah,
perfect.
Definitely a win-win. Oh yeah, Viper Images wouldn't be participating if he hadn't. Anyway, gross F-35.
He knows F-35s would kick a Viper's ass any day.
Yes,
he does.
Well,
the Viper was
BVR.
Viper was incredible.
Let's put it BVR. Yeah, Vipers, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty quick sortie. I got to check off some of the boxes. I mean, we only pulled 7 Gs. I was kind of hoping to get the full 9. We pulled 7 Gs, which was a lot of fun. We went over Mach 1, kind of did some of the cool stuff that I'll probably never do again. So it was a lot of fun to go do that.
I was just going to ask,
did out of Holloman in the past, right before the F-117s retired.
Some great video.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. I wanted to ask you, so did the Viper pilot I mean, you said you pulled some pretty good G's. You went supersonic. Did he try to make you throw up in the long-standing tradition of the fighter pilot?
So what the deal was we basically got paired up with a pilot, and whatever their training flight was for that day was the one that we were on. So the one that I happened to be on was a not very aggressive sortie. We were red air for the blue air, and our our deal was to go out there, and it really wasn't a very aggressive profile. So I didn't get sick. I took some Dramamine before just in case. I felt fine.
Well, it's not every day. It's not every day you're maneuvering like that in the aircraft. So
I really wanted to just enjoy the ride. Have a good time, and not worry about puking, because we had some guys that were puking on their rides, and it did not sound fun. So I wanted to make sure I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Do you want me videos too, or go ahead.
There's more videos. I'll run through a couple more of these, and then I already played that one.
Start going through these pictures too.
The preview on this is really weird. It's not allowing me to see beforehand, which is a glitch with the system. So hold on one sec. I don't think we played. Yeah, we haven't played this one yet. So, Jourdan, tell us what's going on in this.
I have a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
So this was when Hill recently, when they did that elephant walk, all those guys took off, and then they came up into the tanker to us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's after the elephant walk, and then they came up and got some gas from us.
Oh, nice. Aaron and I think we're there for that at Hill.
Yeah, we covered.
Yeah, I remember seeing you guys' pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, we covered them leaving and coming back. That's really cool. Yeah, that video.
Yeah, so awesome. I mean, it turned out to be a super cool video. I mean, you've got, what is that, 8 F-35s on the lead tanker, and then we had 8 on us, and I mean 4 on the wing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, on that one.
Nice. How many Utah or National Guard tankers went up for that exercise? Was it just 2 of you guys?
I can't remember. It was probably just 2. Yeah, that day.
Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, they launched like, I wish I remember the number, but it was like over 50 of them or something. It was
quite a bit.
So when I go to air shows, or we go to like a media day when they do the demo, I never wear earplugs, right? Because I'm just like, I love the sound. But that day, I put in earplugs because it was just one after another.
They're so loud, man. They're so loud. Yeah.
I'm gonna be deaf if I don't put them in. But it was pretty cool to see so many. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah.
So Jourdan, I don't know if you know this. I'm in St. George.
Okay,
So you need to next, and of course I see Utah KC-135s doing touch and goes all the time. So next time you're doing a touch and go, let me know so I can come down and
absolutely,
That would
I've been down there recently in the last couple of weeks. I've been down there a couple times, so I'll have to let you know.
Yeah. And if you ever stay down here, do you play pickleball?
I actually do. Yeah.
It's on.
It's on.
That's awesome.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go through a couple more photos, and then let's see. This is a cool one here. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
So the AWACS, those are the NATO AWACS out of Geilenkirchen Air Base over in Germany. So we've got a pretty sweet deal with them. It's a guard deal, and different guard units will take a couple weeks throughout the year to go out there to work with them to do air refueling. So we'll go out there and be on track for like 3 hours while they just cycle through pilots and practice air refueling. Yeah, and so and for us, I think we had a couple pilots this day, so I was back here snapping pictures, but. They turned out pretty cool. I thought, those little bit.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And the Navy.
This is what is it? The
E8, I believe.
E8.
No, E6 Mercury.
Or E6. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This was over southern Colorado. It was just like I said, it was one of our training flights, and it kind of had that cool orange look. This was during the wildfires a couple of years ago when those fires in Oregon were real bad. Yeah, and it kind of put that cool, orange look in there. Yeah.
Awesome color.
But Yeah, they turn out super cool, those pictures. But that's just typically what we do. We'll just drag them down the track and practice getting contacts. The
There
same
we
thing, just a
go.
training sortie. These guys flew out, yeah, and just multiple contacts just to get them practice. So
Wow.
So Jordan, when the B-52 comes up to you guys, and I went up on a B-52 refueling mission when I was with the unit, and I would go up any opportunity I could just to do
Yeah.
it. And by the way, I love the smell of the interior of the KC-135. It's a
Yeah, right.
distinct smell.
It is,
You
yeah.
smell on any other
It's-
aircraft.
It's true.
It
I
is.
can attest to that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But when
that's
the B-52 was coming up onto the aircraft or coming up onto the boom, I swear when I saw that, and here, let me just hide the picture for a second. The engines were going like this,
Yes.
back and forth.
Yeah.
So that wasn't just me. You saw that, right?
No, and those wings out there, they're huge. Those wings are so
they're
big, and you'll see them flapping out there, and those engines are kind
That's
of just moving
crazy.
around. Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of an airplane, I mean, it's as old as it is, and as much as the Air Force uses it today, and it's effective too. I mean, how cool is that?
Mhm.
What a great airplane. So
That's cool. We got Hank Zerbier checking in. Says
thanks. Yeah, awesome.
he says
Hank.
hey guys, checking in. It was kind of late, checking in. Better late than never. And he says awesome picks. I agree.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching, Hank. Yeah, Hank's a good
Yeah,
dude.
thanks for watching again.
Let's see here.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty cool to go back. Yeah, this was just a F-15. I think this was over Oregon. We go out to Klamath to refuel the guys out of Klamath there.
Nice.
And so I think that's where this one's at. But I was gonna say, like these F-15s and fighters, they're super cool to see. But sometimes those heavies, man. I mean, to see a big airplane that close to us is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like B-52 or C-17s or
Oh,
C-5s.
okay,
or something,
here's a
so.
good one. Oh yeah.
Nice.
KC-10.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
KC-10, yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So this was the KC-10 we refueled, and then right after this, that's when we did the Thunderbird.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What's
Yeah.
Aaron, can I click on a picture? What's this
Go
one
ahead.
here?
Go right ahead. Oh, that's the P8. Poseidon.
Yeah, that's the P8, so the Navy,
Nightingale?
the Sub Hunter.
Oh, the Poseidon.
Sub Hunter.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
was wondering what that one was. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
so-
a legacy Southwest 737.
Yeah. Yeah. Now those guys are out of up in Washington State, and we actually work with these guys quite a bit. They'll come down and we'll be on track with them for an hour, and they're solid, super solid receivers. I mean, those guys, they lock it in, and they're really, really good receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
Nice.
great. Let's see here. Ryan, feel free. Why don't we do a couple cockpit photos? He's got
Okay.
some great-
Yeah, I'll
Flight deck.
I
Oh,
can
yeah,
do.
right on.
Here we go. Here's one.
Flight deck,
can-
flight deck or cockpit?
There
Debate
you go.
here. on the
Yeah.
RampCheck podcast.
it's a cockpit. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So this was during COVID. We were able to do touch and goes at Salt Lake International because the flying was like nearly nothing.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, yeah.
this was the guy in the left seat was actually he's a 05 that was just needing to get a couple bounces. So we all went up and of course I bring my camera nearly everywhere I go on these trips and just started snapping some pictures. So
That's
Yeah.
cool. All right,
That's
let's
great.
do the next Is this just
Same
another?
flight, it looks like.
yeah,
Same
that's
flight?
the same
Oh,
flight. Yep, just right there in the Salt Lake. Yep, that's 3-4
Nice.
3-4 left.
3-4
right there,
left.
yeah.
Yep, there it
Yep,
is.
I
Nice.
recognize that big red, white, and blue hanger on the right.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there
Yep.
it is.
The old Delta hanger.
Hank had a question while we're looking through these pictures. So, how fast does the fuel offload? Gallons per minute?
So
Is it
yeah,
gallons
so
per
we
minute or-
offload. We keep track of it in pounds, but we offload. We can offload up to it's about 6,000 pounds per minute. So some of the small fighter jets they can't really take all that. So it's we have 4 pumps to offload. So each pump's about 1,500 pounds per minute. And so depending on the receiver, a heavier receiver, we can use more pumps. which is needed, right? I mean, when you're offloading 80,000 pounds to a B1 or something, you're going to need all 4 of those pumps because that's going to take a while. Whereas, you're doing an F-16 or an F-35 or F-15.
Yeah.
The plumbing and those things just can't take all that pressure. So it's usually 1, maybe 2 pumps on an F-15. So, but yeah, it's about 6,000 pounds per minute if we use all 4 pumps.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so this was on our way actually out to Germany to work in Geilenkirchen with those AWACS, but just the northern lights, man. I mean, pretty cool to see. Yeah, and I was able to kind of prop my camera up and get a long exposure shot to bring the northern lights out.
That's awesome.
That is great. What a view.
So since we're looking at cockpit flight deck photos, whatever the hell.
Cockpit.
So now I understand that the KC-135 can basically be the grandfather or great grandfather to a modern 737. Obviously the cockpit looks a lot different because it's a lot more glass, I'm guessing. But what similarities and characteristics do you see between the 707 and the 737?
Truthfully, not a ton. I mean, the windows, like the cockpit nose is no key in the same. It was the same on the 727, the 707, the 737. Yeah. So the nose is similar. The windows look exactly the same. But when it comes to like systems, I mean, there's a couple, like, I think it's more of a Boeing thing where some hydraulic systems have the same, limits with as far as how much pressure those hydraulic systems use. But truthfully, there's really not. I mean, I haven't found a lot. I mean, the tanker is it doesn't really have it's all pretty much pulley cable when you fly it. So the rudder's got is hydraulically, we use the hydraulics for the rudder, but everything else is pulley cable. So it's a pretty heavy airplane to fly, where the 737 has hydraulic assist. And so the 737 really flies like a really light KC-135. The tanker is really heavy to fly. It can get pretty challenging when you start to get to some crosswinds and gusty winds. But the 737 is just it flies like a light tanker, really. So,
nice.
But there's not. I mean, the cockpit's completely different. There's just really not a ton that translates between the two. Yeah.
I got to ask about this one. Is that, what do I see here? That is a camel.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at these cool pictures, and then I'm like, is that a camel?
Wait a second.
That must be during COVID because they're making them wear masks.
Yeah, right. The camels. No, this is why like the tanker's cool, man, because we get a chance to go to all over the world, places all over the world, and we're not like in and out, right? We'll spend a couple days somewhere and we'll have time off. And this was actually during a deployment to Al Udeid Air Base, and we were able to leave the base and just go downtown, and we went on this tour thing out here and had some Arabian dinner and got to ride camels. So it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Dude, all I see is that mustache.
I know, man. Yeah.
You are rocking.
Yeah. Of course. Awesome. I mean, you got to grow a mustache during the deployment. My wife hates it, so as soon as I get home, I got to shave it off. But I definitely let her flow during the deployment. That's awesome. So, yeah.
Hey, Taz checking in. So Taz, of course, friend of the podcast, former B-1 pilot, former Boeing pilot. So he said he's been on the boom for 40 minutes before. Really like having all 4 pumps going.
Yeah, you know what? Truthfully, like when you get guys like that, I mean, especially the heavies, the fighters, those guys are pretty solid. I think it's a lot easier for them to stay in position. But when you start to get heavies onto the boom for that long, that's a lot of work for those guys. And it's pretty impressive. I mean, to see those guys just stick on the boom, especially when you start to get bumps and they're moving around in the envelope, because they can only go so far, side to side, up, down, forward, backwards. Yeah. And they lock it in, man. And it's pretty cool to see, and we're just sitting up there flying, doing our best to be a stable platform. And our boom operator, he'll check in. Hey, he's stable, solid, he's doing a great job. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see those guys stay on the boom that long and take, a full 80,000 pounds in one offload.
How much are both of you guys relying on autopilot during all this?
So funny you asked that. So you can Google this, but the tanker, man, recently, so we got an update to the tanker. It's called the Block 45. That's where we got the big center display there in the middle. They took out those engine instruments and put that center display. And the Block 40 being the older version. Well, with the Block 45, they put a new autopilot in, which was actually really nice. The flight director all talks to each other. Yeah, this is the Block 40. So this is kind of old school. We've got a flight director that works, but it doesn't talk to the autopilot. So every time you tell the autopilot to do something, you got to tell the flight director what you want it to do. Where with new airplanes, the 737 and now the Block 45, if you tell the autopilot to do something, the flight director follows suit, kind of thing. The problem was the Air Force started to have uncommanded pitches and all sorts of issues with the autopilot, and so they won't let us use the autopilot when we're doing air refueling right now, or below 10,000 feet AGL. We got to turn it off. So right now, all the air refueling is done by hand. Everything's done by hand. Yeah, right there. Yeah, the B1, I mean, the C-17 is the absolute worst with the bow wave, but when you're hand flying that thing has it has that fat nose on it, and it just pushes the tail up like crazy.
Jeez.
And so hand flying, you're just constantly trim.
Wow.
And then you get it trimmed up and you're trying to do that, provide that stable platform. And you have a situation where they've got to get off the boom real quick, and that's a handful of jet, because I mean it's already heavy enough airplane to fly, and when it's out of trim, I mean it's a pretty good handful. So, but yeah, B1s. I mean, any heavy airplane there, it's quite the handful at some point. So, but once you get it trimmed off, you just do your best to be a stable platform. So,
cool.
So speaking of cockpits, what block is this?
2.
Block 2.
4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely that's a bit before my time. Yeah. I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, there's
that's some pretty old school stuff right
There's
there.
no glass in that thing.
None.
So anyway, I threw
glass.
this on here just for shits and giggles.
That's awesome.
This is a photo that I took actually over Idaho in a KC-135 Echo model. So
oh, dude, awesome.
That's from that flight. Yeah, but no glass.
Man, that's the tanker. It's crazy. I mean, our newest TEL is a 1964 TEL, and our maintenance team is so awesome. They keep the jets going, and with these updates, it makes our job easier too, with the glass and GPS and all that good stuff. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, that was
wow.
That was a pretty ghetto cockpit there, brother.
Yeah. And if you look here too, you look really close. Let's see, where is it? They actually write on where is it? It might be in a different photo, but it's actually written in like a Sharpie that says like KC-135E somewhere. I think it's a different photo. Dang it, I wish I had. Funny. But anyway,
that's awesome.
that's pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, so damn, lots of great stuff. Again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here's another shot.
This was kind of a neat mission that we did. We flew, it was a really tiring one. It was a 3-day trip for us. We ended up flying from Salt Lake. It was just 2 pilots. We weren't augmented. It was just 2 pilots and a boom operator. We flew from Salt Lake out to Mildenhall, spent the night, and then we flew down the coast of Italy, and we refueled I don't know what the full name is. It's a sniffer. It's a 707. But it's got scoops on the side to kind of scoop up air particles, and then they can test, what was in the air kind of stuff. And so we refueled one of these sniffers going down the coast of Italy, and then turned around and went back to Mildenhall, and then back to Salt Lake the last day. So really tiring trip, lots of flying, but I snapped that, I think, on our way over to Mildenhall.
So, let me go back to this picture really quick. So is that an iPad that I see on your...
Yes, iPads have changed the game in aviation. Anybody?
Haven't they though?
I mean, what's that?
I said, haven't they though? It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I was, you'll hear all the old guys talking about back in the day. We had to haul all of our pubs, up the jet, and the co-pilot was in charge of them or whatever. And now, I mean, all of our books and everything, charts, everything's on that iPad. And you can get to anywhere in the world with just your iPad. So. I mean, even in the airlines, it's just changed the game. I mean, iPads have been incredible. Yeah. And in the Air Force, I mean, we use ForeFlight. I think that's ForeFlight that's pulled up, and that's what just civilian people use. But ForeFlight's, they've got a military version that's really well done, and we use quite a bit. So
Well, yeah, when you're thinking about all the books you're carrying, you've got the aircraft manual, you've got your jet charts, you've got your QRH, you've got, I mean, I would imagine that, man, if we would have had iPads back in the day when we were flying Brazilias and 200s at SkyWest, that there's probably a good chance that some of those flights might not have been as weight restricted.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean the amount of pubs that are in those iPads, it's crazy. So and it's easy to find them and to if you need some, it's right there. So yeah, it's
That's
really nice.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Show some more pictures, brothers. Aaron,
we'll do a few more here, and then we can ask him a couple final questions. But let's see here.
Yeah, we're not keeping you too long, Jourdan, are we?
Images.
No. I got plenty of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
we love hanging out with you.
Yeah, this was I think just over Colorado. I think this was the F-16s out of was it Buckley or something there in Colorado. I thought it was a pretty cool shot.
Let's see, there's another F-15. I was trying to go for this Viper shot. Here we go. Okay, yeah, there's another angle. I bet Viper Images knows what the symbol is on that right behind the.
Yeah, I want to say those guys were out of Colorado. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, just opportunities. I get so many opportunities to go to the back and snap pictures, and I happen to like photography and love airplanes.
That's
so
sick.
It's kind of a match.
Have you checked out Mark Cassara's book? Have you ever met Mark? Do you know who Mark Cassara is?
I've never met him. No, I haven't. No, and I haven't even read his book. I need to. I've come across it.
He's a good dude, man. Yeah, tanker pilot. You should connect with him. He's got so many amazing stories from when he was flying tankers, back in the Cold War.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Cold War, Gulf War.
Yeah, this was my last deployment during the Afghan drawdown. We were actually I've got a smile on my face because we were getting ready to go home in a couple of days. So I think that was probably one of our last sorties we flew over there. But we flew one of the Utah tails with the Jazz logo on it, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Are those other tankers on the ramp Utah tankers, or were they from other areas?
No, they're from other areas. So what happens is you'll have a bunch of different units deployed out there, and they'll fly their own tankers. So we'll take so many, and maybe Fairchild will take so many, or McConnell, and then we each fly each other's jets. So one day you'll fly a Utah jet, the next day you're flying a McConnell jet. Yeah, you're just flying everyone's jets out there. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Here's another cool shot.
Beauty. Nice.
Yeah. So
that's Salt Lake, right?
What's that?
That's Salt Lake, right?
Yeah. So I got there's I don't know if you guys know Radar Contact there on Instagram. He's a Tracon controller in Salt Lake. And me and him started chatting, and he's pretty good friends with the ops guys there. So they let me come out. I was on the gravel between the runway and the taxiway, just snapping pictures of these guys as they came back. So kind of a cool deal. Yeah, to go out there.
That's way
get
cool.
some pictures of these guys. Yeah.
It's amazing what social media has done to bring together all these different communities. Like when we're out covering a red flag, and Aaron takes the majority of the photos on the camera. Ryan takes photo and video. I take video. Aaron usually gets a handful of those pictures up right away. And then we'll get DM'd on Instagram. Hey, that was me. Can you send me that picture? It's awesome. Really cool that how tight knit the community is, and social media makes a huge part of that.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah, I've connected with several people. Yeah, I mean, specifically those F-15s out of Mountain Home. I remember we refueled them, and I'd snap some pictures, and same thing. Hey, that was us. And can you send them to me? So, yeah, super cool. Yeah,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I mean, we've kind of picked through all these awesome photos. I don't want to keep repeating.
I think we got them all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I have. I mean, we can start wrapping up here, gentlemen. We've got It's been a great time. I have a couple final questions. I don't know if Ryan and Tony do.
Yeah,
That I'd love to ask you, Jourdan.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
the first one is looking back from the beginning up until this point where you're at in your career in aviation. Was there one thing that you can look back on, think about that where you that you use to this day in your flying, like something you learned or an experience you had that you think about often? And maybe it's something that helps you today. Maybe it's something you think about so you don't screw up. I mean, it could be a number of things.
Yeah. I don't think there's one specific thing, but the more I fly, the more I learn. I mean, aviation is just one of those jobs. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. The more you work in it, the more you learn, the more you can soak in. And so really, it's just been a combination of all of my flying, and I haven't. I mean, I'm definitely fairly young, and I don't have a ton of numbers compared to a lot of people. So I've got a ton more to learn. But it's just so interesting to look back to where I was when I became a co-pilot in the tanker to an aircraft commander and now an instructor, and I kind of look back and be like, holy cow, like there was just so much to know even as an aircraft commander, and that's part of the process, right? Is hey, you made it this far, now go out there and keep learning, kind of thing, right? So it's just been a combination of stuff, and now when I fly for the airlines, I use all of that stuff, right? And to for flights and whatnot. So
Nice.
no, I don't really have a specific thing, but it's just even the little things, just all that stuff adds up. It adds up like crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And then my final question, I'll throw it to Ryan and Tony. What is your ultimate goal in aviation as a pilot? Where do you see yourself in 15, 20 years?
Man, I feel like I've always, as much as I've loved flying for the airlines, my childhood dream was to fly for as much as I've loved flying for the military, my childhood dream was always to fly for the airlines. I always kind of wanted to follow my dad's footsteps and fly, do the military or the airlines thing. And I've made it to the major airline that I've always wanted to be at, and that was kind of my goal. And now it's like, well, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to upgrade to a captain someday, and that's pretty rewarding, right? And then in the military, just really to just kind of keep going in the military. It's just incredibly rewarding every single day to go fly with those guys in the guard and to fly the tanker. And
nice.
And I don't want to say like I've made it, I've reached the pinnacle, but I've definitely, I mean, I'm getting there, and I've loved every second of it. Every time I go flying, I have to pinch myself every time. I try not to take any flight for granted, because in aviation, especially as a pilot, you can lose that medical any day. Something could happen, and it's all over.
Yeah.
And so I try to, every single flight, man, I'm just like, holy cow, man. I mean, as much as that day could suck, I'm just, I try to just remind myself on every single flight how lucky I am to do what I've wanted to do my entire life. So
you're able to experience the best of both worlds at the same time.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's unique. That's
really cool. I really am. Yeah.
So this just popped in my head, and then sorry, Ryan and Tony. It's a follow-on question, I guess.
We've asked some questions. We're good.
I'm in no rush. Yeah, you got me as long as you want me.
No, that's awesome. We appreciate your time, man. So down the road, is there a certain aircraft or like a heavy or something that you want to fly one day with the airlines? Do you have your sights on anything like that, or just kind of see where it goes?
Really see where it goes. A lot of guys, typically in the airline industry, it's, you start on the narrow bodies and you fly the narrow bodies and you work your way up to a wide body and retire as a wide body captain. And that's, obviously where the highest paid pilots are at. And I think that's another reason why guys want to do that. But, I've done a fair amount of the international flying with the guard, and I'm not a huge fan of the body clock changes and the time zone changes. And I really like flying the airplane, right? I don't like just sitting there for 10 hours at a time and just watching stuff. So I really appreciate, a couple legs a day. I mean, sometimes it can be a lot. Tomorrow, actually, I've got a really busy day. We fly 4 legs tomorrow, which is
Oh,
way
wow.
more than we usually. I'm like doing 2 legs a day, right?
Mhm.
But I've kind of been looking forward to it because it's a chance to just to fly the airplane a
Yeah.
lot. So
Right.
Yeah.
I really enjoy domestic flying, and luckily, with where I'm at, I can. There's kind of a wide range of domestic flying. If I did a couple flights last week where they were 5.5 hours. You do JFK to San Diego. It's 5.5 hours, and so you get the chance to do some longer flights, but also like tomorrow, do some of the shorter flying and some hops around. So
Yeah.
a lot of that's the golden question is what do you do you want to go fly the wide body someday? And I think it would be awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want to go fly a 350, an A350? I mean, it's incredible, those big airplanes to see those things fly. It's absolutely incredible that those things fly, and there's they fly as easy as they fly. But I don't know, man. I mean, maybe someday my mind will change, but right now I'm just really happy where I'm at. So yeah, I
Good.
really enjoy my job.
Well, when I was at
Nice.
SkyWest, I knew pilots. We would, so many pilots were fighting to get lines so they could upgrade to the jet. Then to the 700, the 900, the EMB, whatever. And there are pilots for SkyWest that refused to upgrade, and they flew up and down the California coast in Brazilias until they retired.
Awesome.
They were just happy with it, and I don't blame them. What a life,
Yeah,
And
so awesome. Yeah.
You're a 25-year captain at SkyWest. You're flying a Brasilia. You're home pretty much every night, and all you do is just fly up and down the California coast. Once a week, twice a week. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just comes down to just loving your job and enjoying work, right? Work really not being a chore kind of thing. So work's definitely not a chore for me. I really don't work. I got to go have fun every single time I get to go fly. So I just want to keep that going.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool.
Nice.
Ryan.
Well, mine's more of a comment. Do you have a question, Tony? Before we go?
I do. I'll ask him one question at the end.
Well, go ahead and ask your question, and then I'll give my closing statement.
So Aaron kind of took my first question away of what you were thinking. So, any rumors for the 151st Air Refueling Group of the KC-46 coming down the pike?
So years ago when I was enlisted, I know our leadership. I want to say, I mean, I was a senior airman and airman first class, right? So I'm getting, who knows how true this was, but I think our leadership
was last year.
really, really hard. Yeah, right. Our leadership, back then our leadership tried really hard. It was when the 46 they still hadn't announced, the bases, and I think our leadership pushed really hard, but there were several things that kind of affected us from getting it, and it just didn't work out. So obviously we didn't get it. And recently, you can Google this and look this up. The Utah Air National Guard has been named the test jet for the KC-135. So we do all the test stuff. I mean, they're putting things on the airplane on KC-135s in Utah that aren't on KC-135s anywhere in the world.
Oh, really?
Yes,
wow.
and because of that, and nobody wants the KC-46 because, I mean, it's just had so many. It looks like a great plane to fly, but it's just had a lot of issues, right?
Yeah, a lot of problems.
Yeah, a lot of the refueling issues and the camera system.
Yeah, and combine that with us being the test jet for the KC-135, I think as of now, if I had to guess, we'll probably be one of the last units to get rid of it because we're doing all this test stuff.
Which would be awesome because I love looking up and seeing the 4 engines on the KC-135.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just for the nostalgia of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, well, and the KC-135 is going to be flying just as long, if not longer, than the B-52. So and the KC-135s have already all been re-engined, and so
yeah.
Well, one thing about the KC-135 and B-52, if you look it up if you Google it, they were made for each other. And if you Google it, you can see there's pictures of KC-135s doing air refueling with a B-52 in the contact position at like a 90-degree bank. And
really?
Yes, I've seen those.
You can look that stuff up. I mean, the B-52 and KC-135, they work so well together. I mean, they are like made for each other, both made by Boeing. So that's kind of a cool little thing. But,
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Ryan.
That was really my last
any
question,
last words?
so-
Oh, yeah.
We've covered so much, and love seeing all those photos and videos.
Yeah. So no, I was actually just gonna say, like, we could sit here forever. I can't believe it's already been an hour and a half. But I just wanted to say a few things. First of all, I always like to thank people for their service. So we appreciate you.
Thank you.
In your service and keeping all of us safe. And all I can say is I hope one day I get to take a flight where you're flying. It's comforting to me to like hear your story and like what you say about flying, because I did work the ramp for a long time, which is usually a stepping stone for a lot of like commercial pilots that don't go into the military. They're all
absolutely
fueling planes while they make their connections and earn their time. So and not to say that I wouldn't trust any of those guys, but I've worked with some pretty rough dudes. But it's just good to know, like, if I'm going to fly in an airplane, that there's someone in the cockpit that like loves what they do and they're excited about it and it's fun.
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, this is my job, So
so
hopefully the majority are like you, but I just wanted to comment on that and just say that's freaking awesome. And thanks again for coming on. Like, this hasn't even felt like we've had a guest. You just kind of feel like fourth brother here.
Yeah.
We're just kind of shooting the shit. So yeah, we really appreciate you coming on.
And other than Aaron, you kind of fit in with.
There we go. Right. Yeah.
You can see the scalp, so awesome. I'm not far behind.
Okay. All right, here.
Aaron, stop, Aaron! Don't show your full head of hair.
Just put your hat back on.
Beautiful red hair. Look at that.
Put your damn hat back.
You bastard.
Look, it's so high it doesn't even fit in the camera.
Shut up. Well, mine's really high, but it's just all really thin.
Yeah,
the forest is thinning, brother. It really is.
Yeah,
there's just a time where it's like it's time to go, man. I just started cutting it low. So
nice.
Yeah, you'll be with Jourdan and I really soon. So I wanted to. One thing I wanted to comment that Ryan said really quick is the fact that it's like having somebody in the cockpit who's like, oh, it's my job. I hate my job, and being a dispatcher, you get to see that side of some of these pilots and these flight crews. And it's just like, you want to, so you have an irregular operation out of Chicago O'Hare. Chicago goes to crap because of thunderstorms or snowstorms or whatever. You've got like 30 diversions you're dealing with, and the whole system is just falling apart. And, you've got your flight crews that are just like, hey, what can we do? Let's get us out of here. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then you've got other ones that just want to sit and yell at you for something that's completely out of your control. And okay, I get it. You're flying for a regional airline, so you probably flew 5 or 6 legs that day, and you ended up somewhere where you weren't expecting to be, and you're going to have to spend the night there because you're timing out or whatever reason. But you just want to fire back at them and say, or ask them, was there a time when you loved what you were doing?
Right.
Because I would give anything to be in your shoes right now. I don't care where you're staying.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're staying at the Braidwood Inn out of Wichita, Kansas. What's that movie reference? Come on.
I don't know. That went way over my hair.
You got me.
The Braidwood Inn. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Those weren't pillows.
Exactly.
That's kind of why I started my Instagram page, just because originally I was just an airplane nerd taking pictures of airplanes, just like you guys. I mean, I loved aviation, and I would follow guys on Instagram that were pilots, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And I don't do it to like, hey, check out what, to show off and look what I do and you don't get to do. Right. It's more like, hey, this is something I love what I do, and I just want to share it with other people because I think it's the coolest job out there. And I love, I've gotten several friends into aviation that are at the airlines now. And that's the rewarding thing to me, is to be able to share the love that I have for aviation with others. And it's not just me. I fly with guys all the
Mhm.
time. I mean, yesterday we were flying from San Diego to Salt Lake, and we were on short bond in Salt Lake, and I'm flying, and just both of us looked at each other like, this is so cool. You know, like
Yeah.
this is the coolest job. I mean, and in the Guard, you'll get boom operators. Ty Willie, he's one of them. You fly with those guys, and it is so much fun because everyone loves their job. We're having a blast flying tankers around. You know, I mean, it's awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to do what I love to do, and I'd love to share with others too. So
That's awesome.
Fast
awesome.
chimes in
Ah,
again. and
heck
says,
yeah.
Thanks for the gas. I miss flying with you guys.
yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Nice. Your
cool.
favorite wing there to fuel, right? That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Viper Image also said, "Hey, that was me. Can I get a high res photo?" LOL. Classic line on Instagram from people. Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah,
We all get
that's
those
right.
all the time. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, geez, I just showed that. Oh, that I
Yeah, you
clicked
just showed
twice.
that one, brother.
My
Well,
mouse
great.
must have gotten over aggressive. Wow, what an hour and
Fun
30 minutes.
episode.
It's like
Jordan,
Yeah.
you're awesome,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that was fun. This is the first time I've done something like this, so thanks for having me on.
Oh,
That was
cool.
a lot of fun. Super
Awesome.
cool. So
Cool. Well, hopefully we can get you some more followers on your
Yeah.
social media there, and hopefully more people can see you share your story, and that's what it's all about. You said you love what you do and you love to share it. That's exactly why we're here. We just love to share stuff, and we're glad to have people like you on. So
And
that's awesome.
and we're looking forward to that FAM / incentive flight out of
Yeah.
Salt Lake International. Like KC-135.
yeah, that would be awesome.
Wink.
Yeah, and I'll make sure I'm flying it too. Yeah, that'd be
Well,
awesome.
Well, yeah, we only
happens-
want to fly with you.
If that happens,
Yeah, that'd be
though,
super cool.
just saying, Jordan, both of my brothers have been on one. I haven't. So
All right, there you
if
go.
that
Yeah,
happens and you can only take one, I think you know where the dial's
Turn
going to
right
land.
yeah, that's
Turn
awesome.
right off.
Yeah, oh,
Awesome.
that's so awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
I would. In all honesty, I would love to go up in a 135 again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, that's
Yeah,
one of my favorite things we do in the Guard is we do incentive flights. I mean, you guys have done them, and I love doing incentive flights. They're so much fun. And my brother's a state legislator for Utah, and I got to fly him a month or two ago. Super cool. I mean, I love flying. People around. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Great.
Hey, thanks, Taz. Taz says,
Thanks,
great
Taz.
episode.
That's cool.
Appreciate that.
Man, he
That's-
never says that when we don't have a guest. I guess we need to just keep having guests.
We just need to
Yeah.
keep
I
having
know.
Jordan as a guest.
No,
I know.
it's true. It's true. It's definitely much better when we have someone on.
Just make sure that when you're on with the next time, Jordan, that that the curtains are even worse than the ones that are already there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Go,
right?
go down.
Yeah,
Go down and live stream from like a Motel 6 or something, and we'll get some
Yeah,
really
exactly.
bad curtains.
yeah. We'll see how bad we can make the curtains in the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt Seaman, awesome episode. Thanks a lot, Matt. Appreciate that.
Yeah. thanks.
And
Taz,
then
yeah.
Taz is asking, what's your Instagram again, Jordan?
So it's
We can
135
put-
135
yeah.
underscore pilot. Yeah. 135 underscore pilot.
Yeah, here
Here we
show
go.
it.
Yeah,
Here
we'll
it
put it
is
back
on
up.
screen there. Oh, Tony, you turned it off when I just turned it on.
I was trying to as well, so we
Oh,
probably
hey,
all
Ryan.
three just did
Brilliant
it. Yeah.
minds think alike. What can we
Okay,
say?
who's gonna turn it on then? Me?
I got it. I'm on it. Here we
Okay,
go.
Ryan.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Right.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
it is.
Yeah.
There it is
That's cool.
for you, Taz.
Just a couple more quick things. Jordan, you're welcome to hang around with us. We'd love to have you still. So we have a segment we've been doing recently that's called Instagram stories from the accounts we follow. So we'll probably do that. But
Nice.
we wanted to mention that the Instagram, good Lord, where am I? The Ramp Swag store has been down for a couple weeks. It's been revamped. We've got a bunch of shut up, guy. Just show the damn website, Aaron.
So here's actually one of the new shirts that's on there. Look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There you go.
Hey, and
That's
if I could say
nice.
this, you guys have sent me a couple stickers and shirts, and they have been awesome. I get so many compliments from those guys. So I
That's
always tell them,
cool,
hey, it's
man.
RampCheck and where to go. Yeah, so thank you for those.
Oh,
those
we
are
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank
That's
you.
Sweet.
But yeah, we've
So,
got a
Aaron,
bunch
does
of
this
new,
mean
like,
that the
swimwear
Ramp
and-
Swag store is officially back up then?
It is officially back up, but not all the new stuff is up yet. But you can find quite a bit of stuff on here. As you can see, I'm just going to kind of scroll through. We've got, RampCheck branded stuff. We've got a lot of, different look items. I mean, so many. It's so funny. A lot of these aircraft that you guys have refueled are in these. I know there's a tanker one on here. Let me find it.
There better be, or I'm going to be really embarrassed.
Well, there's this one that's cool. It's got a bunch of the tankers. It's got the 135.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the E4, Night Watch, and then there's a KC-46.
There's Pegasus,
C-130, KC-10. Cool. Yeah,
nice.
So it's like a tanker shirt.
That's
but
awesome.
I know that there's one. Let's see. I want to find it here. Oh yeah, here it is. Check it out. This is a cool shirt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got those like retro painted lines with the silhouette of the KC-135 with the boom down.
That's awesome.
That. Yeah,
awesome.
That's cool.
Shirt.
So www.rampcheckglobal.com. That'll get you to the Ramp Swag store. That'll also all the links to all the different places you can find the podcast as well. Oh, I love those hats.
Yeah, check these hats out. So let's see. I know
those are nice.
Nice.
There's a KC-10. There's the Pegasus. I know. Let's see. Where is the KC-135?
Yeah,
right there. I see it.
Yeah,
it's on the bottom.
Is it on the bottom? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
There it is.
So yeah, these hats,
awesome.
These hats look sick. But yeah, there's 3 different camo colors that you can get in these hats with the, different
snapback and
nose on.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. Those look cool. But
so
anyway,
once again, head to the Ramp Swag store, grab some new stuff. We've got some string bikinis on there now, I can see. And
yeah, Tony. There you go.
www.rampcheckglobal.com.
As long as you're not the one wearing them. Actually, if Taz is still watching, he'll appreciate this one. Look at this. It's like the Stars and Stripes, except the stars are B1s.
Oh, that's
Look
awesome.
at that. Isn't that sweet?
There you go. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Pretty cool. All right. So, anyway. Aaron, you have that Instagram pulled up?
I do. Let me.
All right. So
let me get it on here.
Sorry, Jourdan, keep you hanging on longer. This is kind of a fun segment. You can please comment, as we go along. So
you gotta get the music.
Yeah, cue the music.
Cue the music.
Come on.
Okay, what do we want to listen to?
I don't know. Don't listen to that weird one from earlier.
Do some chill hop.
Yeah, chill hop is probably good.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good vibe. Okay. So the Instagram stories from the accounts we follow. Okay, so here's the first one. This one's. Oh my gosh! It's wanting me to confirm this. Hold on. Well, it's a damn good thing that it. Let's see here. Hold on one sec. 107.
Okay, everybody, close your eyes.
So you're watching. This is live. So
yes, it is.
7.
So while Aaron's looking that up. So Matt Thiemann, Matt the Man, 135 pilot, yes. And Taz says that he's already following.
Nice.
Austin.
Thanks, Taz. Cool.
He says,
all right,
hell
hold
yes.
on, let me get Instagram back up. Okay.
You get it?
Okay, here we go. Got it back up. So
right.
Speaking of tanker pilot, Marcus.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Is that the Iron Maiden?
It is.
No, that's a 10. That's KC-10.
Oh, that is a KC-10. Yep, you're absolutely right. Well, of course, you're absolutely right. You know.
I know. Okay, so here we go. The Instagram stories from the accounts we follow. All right, here we go. So check out the post. Stud on Proud of My Hubby. All right.
Awesome.
That's a good dude. I think I did the logo for him. But anyway, so Sammy, it's courage season from now. All right.
Okay.
She's always traveling in some of the greatest plasis. She's cool.
Yeah,
She
she buys our stuff.
Yeah. She actually has an F-15 tattoo on her arm.
Nice.
So Sammy's cool. Next one.
Cool.
Oh, my wife. What? Honey, what are you doing? I guess she's posting something about. Yeah. Love the outfit.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Those little ones.
My two youngest. Oh yeah, Oliver's nuts. Let's see, Preppy Tooth. That's Lil Hess. He's into
Yep.
NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
They like the NASCAR.
Yes, they do.
That's there. She's really cool. She's got these. Here, let me go back to that. She's got these really cool heels that are like the Thunderbird, like the nose of a Thunderbird.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Those are really cool, actually. Let's see, Av Recon. That's cool. Demo practice in the summer heat. Yeah, that's here in Utah. Yeah. Helen Wheels.
So my daughter was so excited for the rare summer demo practice. Nice.
Cool. Very
So
cool.
his daughter was excited for the demo practice. That's cool. Very cool.
Very cool. I guess it's a music album. I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, well, who come through waist?
All
So I
right
guess
then
you're
again.
losing weight. Good job. Okay, yeah, let's move on from that one. That looked like one of those
Singapore
portable
Airlines, okay.
urinals that women can use.
Oh my goodness.
But, interesting, weird artwork. But anyway, that's a cool photo.
Nice.
It's a Marine Corps jacket, I believe.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, acting like I don't just ghost everyone for a few days. All right. 17. Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
That's cool.
another
Nice.
17.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Dope 321 driver. Oh boy.
Probably gonna be something funny.
He's always got the best stuff. What the?
I'm
Oh
just
my
laying here minding my own damn business, and then bam,
Oh,
fucking baby playing with my
You
balls.
kidding me?
okay.
Okay, we'll
All
move
right
on.
then.
Oh, Chris, man.
Oh, sorry about that.
So, does
Okay, you
737, you can land in the fog there, Jordan?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
it does. Yeah,
automatically?
we can do an auto land in it. Yep. Yeah, we can do an
that's
auto
so
land.
cool.
Yep.
Cat 3B,
That's really cool.
the category
Henry.
3B, is that what that is?
Yes.
Only time I'll brag about being commercially rated pilot. Well, good for you with their Wonder Woman
Nice.
pants on.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Florida Highway Patrol. Windy City Spotter. That's a good dude right there, man. We've met
Yep.
him in Ellis a few times. Let's see. Jay Morgan. Not really aviation related. We like to see the accounts, but if they're not aviation related, we try to just
Yep.
zip through it.
Exactly.
Trophy pilot. Not aviation related, but pilots in there. That looks like Salt Lake, man. That's the old Salt Lake gate.
That is Salt Lake. That's the guard hanger in the
that's
background.
old-
Yeah,
that's
that
the
is.
Yeah,
Bravo
there it
9
is.
That's the old Bravo
Yeah.
9 gate, man.
Yep, the old Bravo.
Yeah,
nine. That's probably Continental.
Oh, that's a United. That's a United dash.
Oh, is it
Oh,
United?
Is that a United
Or
dash?
Continental. It's
Yeah.
probably Continental. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly not.
That's cool.
yeah, not a Q400. That's an old picture.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that is cool, man. I used to run those DI stops, man, with those dash 8s with those freaking propellers spinning. That was nuts. Crosswind takeoff. Look at those.
Oh,
blow-ups.
yeah. I
Look
just
at
It's
that
just
love
thing.
like
them.
it just looks like. Can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they I guess they rotate their landing gear, like so they take
Yeah,
off.
that's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's way cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that
cool.
picture
Awesome.
looks like the only wheel touching the ground is on the right wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a cool
More hot
shot.
images.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
K10 shots. Hello, beautiful. Very cool.
Cool.
Birds.
All right. Yeah.
Let's do a couple more and then wrap it up. We already saw that one.
So it looks like the next account, nice. Another Apache, another A10. The next account, these are definitely from Salt Lake. Look at those.
Yeah, that's solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
MD11,
Sunset.
767, 757. Yeah. Going down to the cargo ramp. Oh, speaking of Metroliner.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that. That's
There
an
it
old
is,
bitty
yeah.
goodie. Wow. That's
All
awesome.
right, nice. 787. Some bad storms. Okay. And a Chinook. Awesome. All right,
Nice.
fellas.
Good way to
I think
end it.
we'll call it a day with that. Awesome. Hey,
Sweet.
thanks for sticking on with it, Jordan, going through those. That's always a
Yeah.
fun segment.
Thanks, guys.
We run across some crazy stuff on there sometimes. Usually
Some
Yeah.
random stuff.
Yeah.
I really honestly, when we started that tonight, or even when we started the podcast tonight, I had no idea I'd see a clip of a baby playing with a dog's balls.
Yeah, I'm sure
Me either.
not either. Yeah.
Would have gone without that, but Dope
Yeah,
767
could've
out
gone
there, I guess it's 321 driver now, but he's
Yes.
a friend of ours of the podcast, Chris. He flies.
Always making us
Airbus.
laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good dude.
Well, Jordan, thank you again for taking like 2 hours out of your rest to
Yeah,
join us on the
absolutely.
podcast.
Yeah. That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I know
awesome.
there's a lot more stories that you could share with us, so we would love to have you back anytime. So
Anytime, guys. Yeah, let me know. I'd love to. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you. And enjoy your night. Trying to enjoy those drapes behind you. And good luck on your tomorrow at work. Happy flying.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
okay, well, yeah, so we'll say goodbye right here. So
Yep.
Once again, thank you for watching the RampCheck podcast. Don't forget every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Facebook, Rumble. I'm just naming as they come to mind. Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Did I leave anybody out? Oh, and Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram now.
Every Wednesday night. And if you missed the live stream, just go to any one of our accounts and you can check out the podcast. So, and don't forget that you can follow Jourdan Lee at 135_pilot. Send him some love. Thank him for joining the podcast tonight as well. So, I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ryan. Good day, everyone.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I didn't have it. See, these buttons, they're
Tony's
messing me
not
up.
even cute. That's
Gosh,
live
dang.
video for you.
All right, Aaron, this
Go
is
ahead.
what I have to say to you.